animal's scientific name, Procyon lotter, roughly translates to dog-like washer or washer before the dog. When Carl Linnaeus first classified it, he even placed it in the bear genus, calling it Ursus lotter, literally meaning the washing bear. Its English name has a similar origin. It comes from the Native American word later recorded by Captain John Smith of Pocahontas fame, meaning one who rubs, scrubs, and scratches with its hand. Which animal are we talking about? This is the audience question for episode number 141 of Are You Quizzing Me? Cue the music.
Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? I am Vineet Nair with my co-host Aditya Kashyap. This is a quizzing trivia podcast show. Join us as we dive deep into history, science, pop culture, and so much more. Let's get quizzing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 141 of Are You Quizzing Me, your favorite quizzing and trivia podcast show. Aditya and I are back for another round of quizzing. I was away for a couple of weeks and Aditya went down the fort with a few quiz masters, but I am now back and into the fray. The question that you heard prior to the musical sting was the audience question, which I will answer at the end of today's episode. But there is a small matter of the smack or the social media question that Aditya had posted and he had asked last week, and the answer to which he will now reveal, along with who got the answer right the first time round.
Indeed. Welcome back, Vineet. I will tell you what the last week's SMAQ smack, appropriately named by you, was. This was, as always, a visual question. It was, in fact, a form, a government form, something that rarely would show up on a trivia question. But you know what? In this case, it deserved to be because it was a United States patent form, or rather a certificate or whatever document that certifies that this patent has been issued. And there were certain portions which were blacked out, which indicated who this patent was for. The image showed something which looked like a shoe with a wedge in it. And I had asked our lovely audience members, our lovely friends and fans of the podcast on social media, who was this American patent issued to? And we had the answer come in as usual within a few seconds. This time around, it was Vijay Lakshmi. So thank you, Vijay Lakshmi, for being so prompt and quick on your feet, as it were, because this was Michael Jackson and his very famous lean. If you haven't seen that, you should probably just go type Michael Jackson lean into YouTube and you will be blown away, because it looks superhuman, it looks unnatural, it looks super cool. And of course, there was incredible amount of human effort involved in it, but also assisted by this specific patent, which involved a shoe with a hook and a wedge, and that allowed him to lean further towards the floor than perhaps would have been possible without it. And that has been a patent that was issued to him. So Vijay Lakshmi cracked it within a few seconds. A great job, Vijay Lakshmi.
Okay, great job, Vijay Lakshmi. And thank you to all the members of our audience for engaging with us on Instagram and other places where we post questions. So let's get to the meat of today's quizzing. And I think to make up for my absence of the past 2 weeks, I will go first.
Go for it.
When Marvel Comics faced massive public backlash in 2003, they quietly scraped a bold X-Statix storyline, which was penned by Peter Milligan, opting instead to substitute, no pun intended, X with Henrietta Hunter, a fictional European pop sensation. This censored story arc, humorously dubbed X Another Day, was meant to feature X's reanimated corpse allying with the X-Men offshoot team to dodge hit squads. This followed Milligan's Guardian interview, where he pitched X, famously said to exert a strange, mysterious power from beyond the grave, as the perfect undead mutant recruit for the squad. I want you to identify X.
What was the name that you had mentioned?
X-Statix.
No, Henrietta something, right?
So that was the replacement.
Yeah.
Let me just give you a little bit of background. So if you're a reader of Marvel Comics, you know the X-Men main comic line.
Sure.
They also have kind of offshoots like X-Force, X-Statix, and things like that. So X-Statix was an offshoot of the X-Men. And there was a particular story arc in which Peter Milligan, the author, wanted to have X, the character X, not X-Men. This is a character I'm substituting as X. I now realize that I should probably have used another alphabet. Let's go with A for this one. So A was supposed to be one of the characters who was supposed to come into a storyline for X-Statix. And following an interview and following some massive public backlash, they quietly substituted A with Henrietta Hunter, who was a fictional European pop star. So my question to you is, who was the original member who was supposed to be a perfect, undead mutant recruit who famously said to have exerted a strange, mysterious power from beyond the grave?
There is backlash, and this is supposed to be a superhero, so I'm guessing it is somebody who's not a real-life villain, but still there was backlash, so perhaps a little insensitive. Oh man, you know what? I have a feeling we should edit out this answer if it's not the right answer. But was it by any chance?
Oh, no. It's not. I don't think anybody would be that sensitive. But then again, when you come to the actual answer, it's pretty close when you say that it's the same level of insensitivity.
Okay, cool. You know what? We're just going to beep out the answer there. let people wonder what I said. Great. Okay. So it's not that insensitive a choice, but it's still an insensitive choice. Interesting. And the reason I was asking you the name of the character is because I was like trying to wonder if I even know who Henrietta Hunter is, like her powers or something, but I don't.
It was just to give you a little bit of context to the story, but they did substitute A or X rather with the Henrietta Hunter, but it was supposed to be A, and they were supposed to start in a storyline called A Another Day or X Another Day, whichever letter you want to choose.
Alphabets are so confusing. Okay. The name of the character, Another Day. Interesting. Because I was also thinking, is there a pun on die another day, live another day, or whatever?
Okay.
No, I need another hint.
No, you don't really actually need a hint. You already kind of are on the right track. You just need to think a little bit. I mentioned that the character who I'm now using the letter A for was supposed to be an undead mutant recruit.
Yeah, so which is why I suggested the previous answer, which I won't repeat again. Because I was looking for somebody who's a person who died, but in unfortunate circumstances, which is why you would have backlash. And somebody who was, because superheroes, so potentially a quote-unquote nice person in real life, in the real world out here.
A Another Day or X Another Day was the name that they were going to give that story arc. Now put all of these things together, you have the answer right in front of you.
I thought die another day would be the pun, but what guy? But it's a woman, it's a guy.
You don't have to stretch yourself. Like, sometimes the obvious thing is the answer.
Princess Diana, die. Oh,
there it is.
Oh, that fits all of those categories that I was thinking of. Makes sense. So, real life good person, died in an unfortunate circumstance, and die another day. Oh my God. Oh, I'm laughing at her death. No. Sad event. But yes, that is a great piece of trivia.
Yeah. So it was announced that Princess Diana would be joining X-Statix, which was an X-Men spin-off team. In an interview with The Guardian, Milligan noted that Princess Diana exerted a strange, mysterious power from beyond the grave. So why not turn that into a mutant power? Princess Diana was set to appear in a storyline cheekily titled Die Another Day, D-I, Another Day, where Princess Diana's zombified body would join the X-Statix and thwart assassination attempts. Marvel, however, never published Princess Diana's appearances after a huge and quite predictable outcry. Marvel redacted the story. British media, like the Daily Mail and even the royal family, decried it as a tasteless exploitation, and Milligan then eventually replaced Princess Diana with Henrietta Hunter, a European pop star.
So cool. I think we've discussed this piece of trivia, right? Where Princess Diana was supposed to be cast in the sequel for a film, but eventually was not.
Yes, I think we have discussed something. Tickles my memories, nobody.
Okay. I might have asked it already. It was the Kevin Costner film, The Bodyguard, and she was supposed to star in the sequel of it. Yeah. So, well, interesting. Yeah. A person who left us too quickly, but a lasting impact on pop culture for sure. Fantastic. And moving from the United Kingdom, let me go to a Commonwealth country, to a question that connects the Commonwealth, I guess, which is about cricket. And I know that's not exactly your strong suit, but let's try it out.
It's not.
Vineet, you are a kid of the 80s and the 90s. You have absolutely heard the name Mark Waugh, I'm guessing.
Yes. Steve Waugh, Mark Waugh.
Okay, fantastic.
Waugh, the Wars. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So, Mark Waugh I'm going to break it down into a couple of parts, okay? So, Mark Waugh had a few nicknames. The first nickname was Junior. Junior referred to the fact that he was the younger twin brother. So, of course, they were twin brothers, but Mark Waugh was younger to the Australian captain, Steve Waugh. So, Junior was his most famous nickname. There is another nickname which basically implied that he was the forgotten one of the brothers. Do you know what that nickname was?
Mark Waugh's nickname, which implied that he was the forgotten one of the two cricketing brothers.
Yeah.
Do you have any clues?
I would just ask you to spell it out, very much like what you told me to do in the previous question, where the answer is right there. Literally, what the phrase I said, if you just change one thing in it, and that should give you maybe the answer, or very close to it at least.
For Waugh.
No, the phrase was the forgotten one of the brothers. So instead of one of the brothers, if you just put their last name there.
For Waugh?
Okay, I'll break it. I'll just spell it out for you.
I'm really bad at these puns.
I'll spell it out for you. It is the forgotten Waugh, right? It's the forgotten Waugh.
The forgotten Waugh. Okay. I don't see the pun in that. I was expecting a pun.
You have not heard of the famous war that has been forgotten. What place is called the forgotten?
Oh, the forgotten war. The kangaroo war.
Well, not in an Australian context necessarily. It is Afghanistan. So he was called Afghan. Because Afghanistan is considered the forgotten war in perhaps the general world context. So he was called
Wait. I'm a little confused. Which Afghanistan war are we talking about? The Soviet one or the Anglo-Afghan wars?
This has to be, I'm assuming, the Soviet one because of the time frame also. And I'm assuming because the Cold War fronts, while there were so many, I think Vietnam took all the limelight as the...
No, but Vietnam was much before this, right? Vietnam ended in the early 70s. The Afghan invasion by the Soviet Union happened in the 80s.
No, I just checked. The phrase forgotten war is used for the Soviet-Afghan conflict, which lasted, like you said, from late 70s through the 80s. And it was very long. But I think in terms of the Cold War conflicts, Vietnam probably takes all the limelight. So the forgotten war, the forgotten war, that's where we got the nickname for him. Okay, great. That one required me to break it down for you. But you know what? I believe in you that you got the second one, okay? Now, this refers to a little later part in the career of Mark Waugh. In Sri Lanka, he ran into trouble where he bagged successive pairs of duck, basically didn't score a single run, in Colombo and Moratua. So he went to Sri Lanka, they were touring Sri Lanka, the Aussies were, and he did perform just terribly. So 4 back-to-back ducks. Now, the question is, what nickname did his friends, the media, his teammates, I'm not even sure who gave it, but he temporarily got a nickname because of his 4 ducks in a row.
So Mark Waugh got another nickname because he scored 4 ducks in a row in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, that was more of a temporary nickname, but yes.
I'm going to need a clue here.
Just think of 4 ducks in a row. It's 4 ducks, 4 zeros.
Oh, okay. Knowing how, I was thinking how these people love to sledge, especially Aussies. That they were ironically calling him Olympian or something because,
Very, very, very solid guess there, because the joke was also that, if there had been one more test match, you would have been the Olympic. But because there were only 4 innings where he scored 0 runs, so it was only 4 zeros. In Olympics, obviously, the 5 rings, so he didn't get to the number 5. So what would it be with only 4 zeros?
4 rings, 4 zeros. The Audi logo?
Audi, yes, exactly. He was called Audi.
Oh, I was about to say Quattro.
No.
Because it would be Quattro O.
Oh.
Because it's the Audi logo. You were going to say Audi logo. I was going to say Quattro O.
Look at you.
That would be like 4-0, Quattro.
Look at you.
Yeah, see, they're not as clever as me. Aussies.
You are playing 3D chess here in cricket. I love it. It was Audi, the nickname that he was given. So I thought both of them were interesting nicknames. Both of them at least tickled my sensibilities of a good pun. Audi referring to his 4 ducks in a row, and Afghan referring to the forgotten Waugh, as he was the younger twin brother of a more famous brother in cricket.
That's a TIL for me, the forgotten Waugh.
Yeah.
Like I did not realize it, because for me, See, half the Rambo franchise was built on this.
No, fair enough. But I still feel like if you ask anybody where were the prominent battlefronts of the Cold War, I think Vietnam comes to mind.
Yeah, the Vietnam comes to mind, but so does the Korean War.
Exactly, the Korean War comes to mind. Yeah, Vietnam War comes to mind. So the Afghan War probably is a little lower down the list, perhaps. I don't know. Anyways, don't ask me the technicalities. That's just the phrase that is used. Before I end this question, this is from a Cricinfo, which is the ESPN website, where it basically listed down the bad spells that cricketers have had, famous big cricketers have had. Mohinder Amarnath, the Indian cricketer, he had a fantastic year in 1983, of course, the World Cup, and then he was scoring a bunch of runs. He was scoring centuries left, right, center. But after that, he came back, and at home, the same bowlers that he had been, scoring tons off of, this time when playing on the home field, he stumbled and he just was not able to perform. I think he scored a single run in 6 innings. Over the course of 6 innings, he scored a single run. So, what was the temporary nickname given to Mohinder Amarnath in that phase?
You're asking cricket trivia to the wrong person.
The part of cricket is pretty minimal. It's a pun on his own name.
Amarnath?
Yes, it was Mr. Amarnath, because he was going out for zeros. Yeah, so there are a bunch of other cricketers. I don't think any of them have fun nicknames apart from these two. So yeah, when you perform badly, at least you go out with a great nickname. All right, I'm rotating strike with you. Go for it.
Rashmi Sinha was raised in India, later pursued advanced academic training in the United States, earning a doctorate in cognitive neuropsychology from Brown University. During her PhD, she was exposed to ideas from educational software design and early human-computer interaction research. She then moved to the West Coast for postdoctoral work at the University of California, Berkeley, where her interests shifted decisively towards how people interact with digital systems, particularly search and recommendation technologies. Before building X, she co-founded a user experience consulting firm and led design work for major organizations such as eBay, Blue Shield, and AAA. In 2006, she teamed up with her husband and her brother to launch an online platform, X. Which website did they create?
Rashmi what?
Rashmi Sinha.
Okay, the name does not help. Rashmi Sinha, 2006.
Born and raised in Lucknow, India. Your neck of the woods.
Indeed. Unfortunately, haven't heard of this person before. And 2006, and you would only ask me this question if this is a website that is famous enough for me to have heard of. We are talking post-Facebook, so some sort of maybe social networking website that lived briefly, maybe. Trying to think of what would that be. MySpace was before that. I think Orkut was on there, but I know Orkut's story is completely different. No, I'll need some hint.
This was initially dubbed as YouTube for something.
YouTube for something. YouTube for potentially news, YouTube for music. Was it like an early iteration of Spotify? But no, Spotify is not that history.
No. So this was, I can guarantee you, at least from my personal experience, lots of medical students use it on a daily basis. Lots. Okay. Medicals definitely use it, but given the content on it, I'm guessing people from all professions, whether academic or otherwise, businessmen, corporate, a lot of people end up using it. Mostly to look for inspiration, but otherwise as well.
Look for inspiration? No, not Pinterest. This can be Pinterest.
Inspiration sometimes to just blatantly copy.
This is not Pinterest, right?
It's not Pinterest.
Inspiration directly goes to Pinterest. What else is inspiring?
Inspiration in the sense like sometimes you just don't want to do the hard work. So there are ready-made versions of certain things.
Oh, okay. So academic materials perhaps.
Among other things.
Was this like the early version of Google Scholar or something?
No. Google Scholar is an indexing service.
Yeah.
It doesn't own any content. This actually hosts a type of content.
And you said YouTube for something.
So what happens on YouTube? Let's break it down that way. What happens on YouTube?
Video. So I'm assuming it is video content of educational nature.
No. What? Let's forget that video. Like at its very base, what is YouTube?
place to go get radicalized. I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah. No, so basically YouTube, when you break it down to its core, it's just a website where people make content and upload it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, fair enough.
And then it's consumed by other people, right? And it's an open source. It's technically kind of an open source platform where anybody can make, obviously there's moderation and whatnot, but anybody can make content and put it up online and people can learn from it. They can use it. Sometimes they even copy it. It just it did come out to be something like that for a very different form of content.
No, I have no idea at all. I can't quite put a finger on this.
So in 2012, 6 years after they made it, it was acquired by LinkedIn. And in 2020, it was acquired by Scribd.
Oh, Scribd.
Honestly speaking, I use Scribd quite often.
Yeah, I have used Scribd a few times.
But nowadays, this comes as a free subscription. Like you get a free subscription when you subscribe to Scribd. So
Scribd has a bunch of documents. Oh, is it not for documents, but for presentations? Is it for presentations?
Yes.
What's that website called?
Do it. Hit the button.
I've seen a few quizzes also on it. Like I've sometimes I'll find that as a source and then I'll try to find for primary source and I can't. SlideShare.
Yes, very nice. So it is SlideShare. So putting it all together. Rashmi Sinha, born and raised in Lucknow, earned a PhD in cognitive neuropsychology from Brown University. There, a course on educational software design introduced her to human-computer interaction pioneers like Andy Van Dam, sparking her interest in intuitive digital tools. She developed Mind Canvas, collaborating sketching tool for user research. She conducted postdoctoral research at UC Berkeley's School of Information in the late 1990s, pivoting to HCI with focus on search engines, personalization, and recommendation systems. Her work explored how users navigate information overload, informing her later designs. In 2000, she co-founded Usanto, a San Francisco-based UX consulting firm where she led projects for eBay, Blue Shield, AAA, and others like Inuit and Wells Fargo. She co-founded SlideShare in 2006 with husband Jonathan Bouter and brother Amit Ranjan. From her home office, dubbing it YouTube for presentations. It enabled uploading and sharing of PowerPoints, PDFs, and documents, hitting 9 million uploads by 2012 when LinkedIn acquired it for $119 million. Scribd bought it in 2020, and today it boasts around 100 million plus monthly users.
Pretty cool. Well, of course, I don't use SlideShare as often, but still, a known name in the tech space.
I think we used to go through SlideShare during my residency and all, when sometimes it'd be a topic, it'd be like, some postgraduate somewhere would have made a topic of presentation on this, and then there'll be like 5-6 presentations, and sometimes it's just easier to learn from a presentation than going through somebody else's notes. So.
Makes sense. Okay, all right. I will move from your medico hint to another question which is related to the world of medicine, and that should be fun for you. Hopefully, it's my welcome back present for you, because I've been holding on to this question for a very long time. I didn't know when I should use it, but you know what? Today is as good a day as any other. And it also combines Bollywood into it. So two things that I like Bollywood, and you are a doctor. So let's see if we can combine these. Okay. All right. Vineet, tell me, have you heard of Hrishikesh Mukherjee?
Yes. Mele mein kho gaya.
Hrishikesh Mukherjee was a famous Indian film director and editor. To his credit are a bunch of great films, including Golmaal, Chupke Chupke, Guddi, Bawarchi, some very iconic classic films of the 70s and I believe the 80s as well. One of his most iconic films is the movie Anand. In the movie Anand, Hrishikesh Mukherjee was a writer, and he had a background of having studied chemistry, and before he started in Bollywood, he had worked as a laboratory assistant in the film development process. So that's where his chemistry experience had come into play. He had written down the story of Anand, and he was trying to pitch it to people. Raj Kapoor, to whom the film is dedicated, was the inspiration also behind the character and the dynamics, because when he met Hrishikesh Mukherjee, he used to call him Babu Moshai, and there was a certain dynamic which was similar to the dynamic between Anand, the character, and Amitabh Bachchan's character, who's the doctor. So this is the background. He had a certain understanding of medicine as well because of perhaps his chemistry background. When he had to decide what would be the disease that Anand has, which is a terminal disease. Because anybody who doesn't know, sorry, spoilers, the character of Anand in the movie, played by Rajesh Khanna, of course, is suffering from a terminal cancer. He's going to pass away in the near future. And Amitabh Bachchan is his doctor, and the whole story is about their dynamic. So, when trying to figure out what disease is this character going to have, he came upon this particular name and he decided that this disease sounds appropriate. After having chosen this name, what happened was that over the years, this particular disease is now referred to by another name altogether. That's not the name that any medical professional would use anymore. In the movie, there is a very iconic dialogue of, "Oh, wow, that's the name of my disease." I think Anand says, "ये तो लगता है किसी बड़े इंसान का नाम है कि इसको रेडियो पे अनाउंस करना चाहिए." Like almost making a joke about the enormity of the situation. So my first question to you is, and I feel like you already know the answer, what is the name of the disease that Anand has in the movie Anand?
Lymphosarcoma of the intestine.
Lymphosarcoma of the small intestine. Yes, you are correct. You are very much correct. For the benefit of our non-medical professional listeners, can you tell us what it is referred to as now?
It's a lymphoma. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Exactly.
But it's specifically of the intestine. So,
yeah, non-Hodgkin lymphoma of the intestine. I'm sure there must be some other technicality and specifications of it. Fantastic. You cracked that very quickly. I don't know if you know where this question is going, but let me take you on the journey regardless.
You have no clue. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. I'm glad that you don't. I'm surprised you knew the first part so easily. But
I've always remembered the thing where he's holding up the X-ray film of all things and saying lymphosarcoma.
Very well.
That's kind of stuck in my head.
Nicely done. All right, great. So now, because the name is no longer used, it's an outdated name. It doesn't have the dramatic flair that it would have had back when Anand came out. This movie has been referenced in another film of the 2000s. The movie had multiple references to Anand. So what I'm going to do is ask you to identify which movie I'm talking about. The movie had multiple references to Anand. There is a character which is inspired by the name Anand also. And it also mentions this disease. Which movie in the 2000s am I talking about?
Jimmy Shergill had with Munna Bhai? No.
So is your answer Munna Bhai, the movie?
Wait, now I'm just trying. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like the first thing that came to mind was, I don't remember what he was dying of in Munna Bhai.
It's okay. Go with your gut. Go with your small intestine.
I'll go. I have another thing. ठीक है. There is another one where I know there is. I think at least now that I may be wrong. So I'll go with Munna Bhai first, and if not, then I'll go with second.
I want to hear what your second guess was, but before I do, I'll tell you, you're right. It is Munna Bhai MBBS. However, it is not Jimmy Shergill's character who has this particular disease. Because again, like I said, I think it was now played for more comedy than drama. Jimmy Shergill's whole character's journey through that movie is, of course, a lot more dramatic than comedic, right? So, do you know which moment in the movie refers this particular disease?
I don't. I'll be very honest with you. I watched Munna Bhai exactly once in my life.
Okay.
And that was many, many years ago.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. This is something that a lot of people might have forgotten, but it's a lovely jog down memory lane, because in the very initial part of the movie where Munna is pretending to be a doctor because his father is visiting, he has a whole fake hospital that has been set up named after his father, and he has fake patients, and they're all joking about it.
Yes.
The first dialogue of Munna Bhai as Munna the doctor is looking at an X-ray and saying, "This is lymphosarcoma of the small intestine."
Okay. I can now, when you mention it, remember the image, but I don't remember the dialogue.
And then I think he says ki iska kuch head X-ray karo or something. He says something absolutely ridiculous after that. So that is, of course, played for the comedy of it. That brings me to the second part, or rather third part, I guess, of this question. What character in Munna Bhai is named as a reference to the movie Anand? This is pretty straightforward. If you remember the movie, if you don't, then I don't think you can crack it.
Movie, honestly speaking, I don't remember the movie.
Okay, fair enough. Anand Banerjee, the person who is, I think I guess you'll call it a vegetative state, the person who hasn't responded in a very long time, and Munna gives him a shave, hugs him, and towards the very end of the movie, he kind of is able to move, and that's what convinces the dean to forgive Munna and whatnot, right? So that character is named Anand Banerjee. And of course, in the movie Anand, Rajesh Khanna's character is named Anand, and Banerjee also comes from that movie because Amitabh Bachchan's character is Dr. Bhaskar Banerjee. That's why Babu Moshai. So
my second guess, if Munna Bhai was wrong, I was going to guess because I did not figure because there's nothing as far as I can remember because I've watched this movie multiple times. I don't remember anything specifically related to cancer in the movie because there is none.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah, go for it.
So I was going to think of Piku because in Piku, Amitabh Bachchan's character is named Bhaskar Banerjee, and he also has intestinal problems.
Exactly.
He has constipation.
Exactly.
Which would technically be a symptom of...
Oh, no, 100%.
lymphoma.
That is, I think, a subtle reference there. Again, a nod by the director towards Anand. That's why he's also called Bhaskar Banerjee in that. And he has stomach issues. They don't go into what disease. I don't think they mention it in the movie. But the fact...
No, I don't think it's a cancer in that particular...
Yeah.
It's just constipation.
I mean, no, he eventually does pass away. I don't know if they mentioned what was the reason for the eventual demise of the character. But regardless, the fact that it was intestinal issues named after Bhaskar, again from the movie Anand, where the disease was intestinal, reference in Munna Bhai as Bhaskar Banerjee, reference in Piku, which is not 2000s, it's a 2010s film. But yes, these are all films that are harking back to this very fantastic film, Anand. For whoever has not seen, you should definitely give it a watch. You would realize, I think that's a movie that somebody, I think must have been my dad, who told me that that's the movie where, of course, we all know Amitabh Bachchan as this great superstar. But there you see the superstar that Rajesh Khanna was, because Amitabh Bachchan, the taller man, seems almost smaller in comparison.
No, he disappears. Whenever Rajesh Khanna appears on screen, he just completely disappears.
Like physically bigger, but just disappears, yeah.
The first time I watched the movie, I remember thinking that Amitabh Bachchan is playing it very subtly. That he's kind of, he's being very subtle about it. The second time I watched it, I was a little older. That's when I realized he's not. He's exactly the same as he is in every movie. It's just that Rajesh Khanna is like an incandescent light every time he appears on screen.
So good. He embodies that character like nothing else. This has been a question I've been wanting to ask for a very long time because I love the movie. I, of course, really like Munna Bhai. I've seen it a few times probably. Piku also a great film. So yeah, these three movies just connected by this piece of trivia.
Three movies you've mentioned. I've watched Munna Bhai exactly once.
Oh, is that a thing that do doctors not like the movie?
And it just never appealed to me because I think when Munna Bhai came out, I was in college. It didn't particularly appeal to me at all. But honestly speaking, it was a huge hit and people were raving about it left, right and center. But I just didn't like it.
Okay, fair enough.
Piku, however, is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Very good.
It's one of those movies I just go back and watch. It's like a feel good repeat watch kind of movie, and everybody's just done their job beautifully. The music, Shojit Sarkar's direction, it's just fantastic. Just love.
On paper, I would have never expected the pairing of Irfan Khan and Deepika Padukone as a romantic couple making sense. Yeah. But their chemistry is crackling. Like, I genuinely enjoy the moments where she's flirting with him, but also like kind of playing it safe, and he's flirting back, but also, has his own thing going on. And they're wary of each other because they're also like a little older, but they are interested in each other. Oh God, so good. The movie is so good.
First time I watched the movie, I remember thinking that there's a scene at the end when they are in Calcutta and they're talking about, how they could each, like Deepika's like, how can I get married? Whoever I get married to would have to suffer for my father. Right. And then she kind of flirtatiously asks him the question, like, will you marry me? Like, will you do it?
Yeah.
I kept thinking any other lesser screenwriter would have definitely turned that into a kind of proposal sequence, or he would say, I would, and then, kind of play it off in an awkward sense. But this, he just turned that moment around as it's like, I'm not mad. I don't remember the exact line, but he's like, I'm not mad.
Kharab nahi hai mera, something like that. Basically implying that I'm not going to get into this mess.
Mata kharab nahi hai mera. Mata kharab nahi hai mera.
The line. Yeah.
And Amitabh Bachchan's performance is just...
Yeah. We were talking about Anand where he disappeared, but in this, even though I feel like, I don't quite remember, but it's not like he's the main lead because it is clearly an ensemble cast.
No, he's not.
He shines beautifully. Everybody else does, but he also shines so well in that film. It's a lovely watch.
He's like the MacGuffin of the movie. He's like a living MacGuffin. The entire plot is propelled by him. But he's just a pivot for the movie, like, for Irfan and Deepika to kind of just come together. Wow, performance.
Yeah, it is a fantastic performance. Yeah.
People do tend to bring up Munna Bhai a lot during quizzes, and sometimes I think I just do wish I probably should watch it just so that I know the answer to some of the questions you ask me. Because I guarantee you will almost never find a Bollywood quiz without Munna Bhai somewhere.
I'm sure. And the confluence of Bollywood and medical, Munna Bhai is the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah. Well done. Well, have you seen Kabir Singh? Then if you have, then you're good enough. That's good.
Yeah.
You give me a more Kabir Singh vibe than a Munna Bhai vibe. Vineet, it looks like you were the topper just going around harassing random people.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. I would be the diametrically opposite version of Kabir Singh. Diametrically opposite.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. Moving on. Let's go on to better things than Kabir Singh.
Yes. So my next question is a straightforward trivia question. I sometimes miss the old days when trivia questions used to be very simple, like, who's the fastest man in the world? That kind of thing. So I'm going to throw back to one of those, but I'd be very surprised if you did know the answer, because I'm kind of looking forward to propelling you towards it. What is the most expensive item by weight ever sold in history? Let me just put this here. Not including radioactive elements which can only be acquired by governments and institutions, and not including, which can actually be bought by a private citizen. It's not like, polonium or antimatter or something which can only be procured by governments or institutions. This is the most expensive item by weight which was ever sold, which was part of a public transaction.
Okay. So it's not a generic type of item, because it's not like a truffle or saffron or something like that.
I will accept a category if you can specifically tell me what type of item it is. Even if you can tell me the name, I would be very impressed. But if you can at least just tell me what it was, like you mentioned, like a truffle.
I think my bias shows, because the only thing that are coming to mind is food related stuff. So, of course, truffle is very expensive. I know saffron is very expensive. Yeah, the beef from Japan, some of the very high quality A5 Wagyu is pretty expensive.
What else?
I mean, then if it, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, if it's something like saffron, there is no specific saffron from this particular person, right? The way I am seeing it is, it could be, if the Mona Lisa was ever auctioned, that's a specific thing that we're talking about. If Mona Lisa was auctioned, it'll probably be one of the most expensive things that is ever auctioned. So if it's like, I don't know,
No, but see, you could, for the purpose of this question, if the answer were the Mona Lisa, I wouldn't expect you to tell me the Mona Lisa. I would expect you to say painting.
Okay, so you're looking for a general also.
Because expecting you to know the name of this thing is a little too much. Because unless you are somebody who's extremely deep into this world, and I was somewhat deep into this world for many years when I was a student and a kid, I'd never heard it. I only came across this when this question came to mind, and I was just searching randomly, and I came across this answer.
Oh, because you said you were into this, is it by any chance some sort of an ink?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Good guess.
That was just entirely going off of what you are into. Okay, but if it's not ink, if it's not art supplies, you did not say no to food. So is food by any chance the category I should be looking at?
No.
Okay, so not food. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking rare stuff. So maybe, I don't think individuals would be able to purchase moon samples or Venus samples or Mars samples. I'm guessing that will be the exclusive domain of institutions.
Yeah, because technically speaking, lunar rocks and dust would be ridiculously expensive because of the cost of procuring.
Exactly.
Which is specifically why I mentioned nothing radioactive or anything which can only be acquired by governments or institutions.
Exactly. So rarity-wise, that won't work. But what about meteorite? I mean, I know there are way more meteorites, obviously, than any lunar rock, but probably not as much. So is it something like that?
Just to give you an idea of how expensive this thing is, like I mentioned, the question was, what is the most expensive item by weight? ever sold in history. This thing sold for $237 million per gram.
What are you? So literally 4 grams of it would be almost $1 billion? Oh my lord. Okay.
But I don't think 4 grams of it exist. No, 4 grams of it does not exist.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be able
Does
to...
even 1 gram exist, or was it like the price was, if it was a gram, that would be 237, but it was much lesser quantity than a gram?
Now you're on the right.
Okay. So we're potentially talking about microscopic amounts of something.
Not microscopic, but
okay, for very, very trace amounts of something. Ooh, I'm trying to think of what could work. Like, is it an extinct animal's, I don't know, the few fragments of a bone or fossil that has been found, something like that?
no, it's nothing.
Okay, so not even extinct animals, not meteorites, not food.
It's man-made.
It's a man-made thing. Huh? What man-made thing is that expensive and also that restricted in quantity? No idea at all. What?
Yeah, so this, frankly speaking, because when I went down this whole draft of most expensive items, I came and I was just, my mind was blown. Think hobbies. That might give you to at least lead you tangentially to the answer.
Hobbies, your hobbies?
Yeah, you could start with that.
Like you said, you have so many hobbies, I don't even know where to start. But hobbies in general, common hobbies. Ooh.
I've given up this hobby. I gave up this hobby sometime 20 years ago.
I don't know if you've told me this at some point, or I'm just imagining it now to answer this question. But were you a stamp collector? Is this like a stamp that has been created?
Yes, I was a philatelist, and yes, you are right.
So this is, I think this is a very tiny stamp that was created. I don't think this is even a regular size stamp or something like that.
Okay. No, the thing is, it's a very, very, very rare stamp.
Okay.
And there's only one of it exists.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so
yeah, what is it?
The stamp in question is the British Guyana 1 cent magenta.
Oh, okay.
The British Guyana 1C magenta is regarded by many philatelists as the world's most famous rare stamp. It was issued in limited numbers in British Guyana, now Guyana, in 1856, and only one specimen is now known to exist. The 1 cent magenta was part of a series of 3 definitive stamps issued in 1856 and was intended for use on local newspapers. The other 2 stamps, a 4C magenta and a 4C blue, were intended for letter postage. The issue came through mischance. An anticipated delivery of stamps by ship did not arrive, so local postmaster E.T.E. Dalton authorized printers to print an emergency issue of 3 stamps, and only one of them remained. It is the only major postage stamp ever issued in the United Kingdom or British Commonwealth that is not represented in Britain's Royal Philatelic Collection. There have been other stamps which have sold for higher amounts. For example, the Mauritian 1D rate. Single examples have sold for around $4 million or up to $11.2 million. But these are covers with envelopes, so the total weight exceeds 10 grams, dropping the per gram value below $1 million. The 5 Condrian large dragon, a full mint sheet of 25, sold as part of a 2009 lot for $17.4 million total. But that comes down to around 14 million per gram because of the overall weight. So there are a lot of stamps which have sold for higher prices. But if you look at price per gram, then the British Guyana 1C magenta postage stamp is the most expensive thing that you can buy and that has ever been sold in history. And just for your edification, the stamp sold for $9.48 million in 2014. A tiny, tiny stamp.
All right. Fantastic. Fun piece of trivia. I would have not guessed if not for my knowledge of you. And moving from that, let's move to your knowledge of, India. So my question to you is, Tamil was the second official language of which state for a period of 44 years? It no longer is the second official language of that state, but for a period of 44 years, Tamil was the second official language of which state?
Haryana.
Oh, my man knows his India as well as I know him, I guess. Oh, fantastic. That was too quick. Yeah, let's just do the explanation. Okay. So, in 1966, Punjab's western districts were being carved out on linguistic considerations, basically separating the Punjabi-speaking and the quote-unquote Hindi-speaking populations. Now, I guess you'll call that Haryanvi and not Hindi. But yes, that was the demarcation or the divide that was happening. And I guess there was opposition to it, as is very often the case. And the people of Haryana were really upset. The Congress party that was in power at that point of time, I think out of sheer spite, like I love the fact that it was done out of sheer spite. In 1966, when it came to choosing their second official language, they chose the furthest thing away geographically that they could within the boundaries of India, and they decided to go with Tamil, which is funny because there was barely any Tamil population in the state at that point of time. Probably even now, it's a very negligible amount of people over there. The language is probably not spoken at all. You'd be making a safe bet by saying that nobody today in the state of Haryana is going to speak Tamil in the year 1966. And you probably win your money back because there was nobody there to be speaking that language. And yet that became the second official language all the way from 1966 to 2010. And only then was it changed from Tamil to Punjabi, which is the case now. But for 44 years, out of sheer spite, and people had forgotten that was the case because nobody really cared about the second official language. It was the second official language of the state of Haryana, Tamil. Completely no rational reason to do it. Sheer spite. I love it. Hats off to whoever chose that. I love it.
And let's now answer the audience question, which I asked at the beginning of today's episode. The question was, this animal's scientific name, Procyon lotor, roughly translates to dog-like washer or washer before the dog. When Carl Linnaeus first classified it, he even placed it in the bear genus, calling it Hertz's lotor, literally the washing bear. Its English name has a similar origin, comes from a Native American word, later recorded by Captain John Smith of Pocahontas fame, meaning one who rubs, scrubs, and scratches with its hands. Which animal are we talking about? Do you have any idea what the answer?
I'm gonna say it has to do with because it sounded like it also, and then you said bear and whatnot. I'm gonna assume it's otter.
It's not otter.
Oh, okay. Wow, I thought I had that right. Okay, not otter.
Yep. The clue I would give you is, look at me. Obviously, those who are listening to us, they don't understand what's going on. But if you do actually ever watch this as a video episode, you will understand.
Are you talking about some physical appearance of yours? Because you look very striking, my friend.
Yes.
You look amazing. Are you pointing towards your eyes? Is it like something to do with eyes?
Okay.
Like skunk?
Close.
Raccoon?
Raccoon. Yes, it's raccoon.
Okay. Wait, water? Interesting. Okay.
So, the raccoon scientific name breaks down as Procyon, which is Greek for before dog, and lotor for washer, from its habit of dousing food in water. Linnaeus initially classified it as Ursus lotor or washer bear. The English raccoon derives from the Algonquin word aracoon or aratkon, meaning one who rubs, scrubs, and scratches with hands. It was noted by Captain John Smith in 1608 during his Jamestown interactions with the Powhatan people, including Pocahontas.
Fantastic. Okay, very nice. All right. Well, for the social media audience question or smack for episode 141, I'm going to upload a picture. And in this case, you have nothing to identify as such because it's clearly Taj Mahal. But Taj Mahal modified. And the question is, why was this particular modification added to Taj Mahal? And it's clearly not a permanent thing. So why was this modification temporarily added to Taj Mahal? Bonus points for telling me when this was. So let us know on either Instagram or Reddit, wherever you encounter the question. And the first person to answer the question will be given a shout out in the next episode because we love it when people respond quickly to our questions. And as always, the image carousel, if you continue swiping, will show you other visual questions also. So apart from the regular reels that are uploaded on Instagram, there are also the visual questions. So check it out. There's also the Sunday quiz. I had a lot of fun with the last one because it was a different theme than the usual one where you know the theme already. You had to guess the theme in this one. And that was a fun little surprise that I had added for our regular Instagram followers. So go ahead and follow us over there and check us out. Listen to the podcast, send it to somebody you like. And Vineet, please do your spiel.
So that's the small matter of the pop culture recommendations.
All right, that is fair.
So what's yours, Aditya?
I'm going to name perhaps the nicest film I've seen in a very long time. I went to watch it. I came out feeling quite happy about it because it starred some phenomenal people, a lot of them in voice-only roles, but Hugh Jackman as himself, or rather Hugh Jackman in person form, but playing a character. And it is a very feel-good film. At the end of it, it features sheep and they are acting as detectives. And the name of the film is Sheep Detective. So go ahead and check it out. If it's still in theaters, go watch it there. Otherwise, it'll be out on OTT soon, I imagine. And because there is so much just dreary stuff out there in terms of content, this is a feel-good film. Go feel good about life and about people and about things in general. That's my recommendation.
So I have yet to catch that movie in theaters or otherwise because I've been traveling quite non-stop. So my recommendations are a little how do I put this, dated for now. One recommendation that we have already mentioned on this podcast is Anand and Piku. Another recommendation that I have, which is something that I watched, which I only got to watch recently on a flight, this was Oh Romeo by Vishal Bharadwaj, starring Shahid Kapoor and Tripti Dimri. I don't know why it didn't run much in theaters, though I do not agree with some of the choices that the director made regarding certain characters. But overall, solid film. I really liked it. Those are my recommendations. Go watch them if you can, if you haven't got. And that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you all for listening in and tuning in for this show. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to us, recommend us to a friend or loved one, or even to an enemy. Make sure that you engage with us on Reddit at r/RUQuizMe, on Instagram at RUQuizMe. And if you want questions asked on the show, please send those questions to us at ruquizme@gmail.com in the name of the Quizmaster in the subject line. We wish that you have a great week. I've been away from this for 2 weeks and I'm already rusty with the spiel. I don't know what's wrong with me, but in any case, you guys know this. You've heard this a million times. You know what to do. And that's all about the time we have for this week's episode. Bye.
See you guys next week. You're looking for a handsome bird or something? I don't know.